Greetings everyone, it's IT2 and today I want to talk about paperback books and I want to do a book haul. I got a bunch of really good stuff in and I'm a little bit disappointed, but I'm also super excited. The problem is, if you order books online, there are different types of paperback books. And what's a really good example? I thought I had this one. Here's my Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter, right? This is a mass market paperback. It's old and used, it's dirty, it's got yellow stuff on it. The paper is not very good quality paper. It's basically made to recycle and pulp it. It's really cheaply made. You can't beat them up though, they're really indestructible. But you see on the edges, there's kind of this brown. They kind of, when really old books, they get a smell to them. Sometimes it's a really good smell, but they get this yellowing around the edges and stuff. You can tell if they're old and they're real cheap. So these, you get 50 cents or $1 at Goodwill and stuff. Because people just read them and they chuck them. Here's a brand new Academ's Fury. Same thing, but it's not got the yellowing. It's the mass market. Okay. Here's a Harlan Coben. This is a newer mass market paperback. But it's a soft cover. It's a little bit taller than the other one. It's got this better quality paper. I think it's called acid-free paper. But then with this Shirley Jackson, this is some real thin, this is almost like onion skin paper. This is real. The book is heavy too. It's dense as fuck. So the different kinds of paper you can get. This one's okay. I'd rather it be a little bit bigger. It's a little bit thin. Even compared to my Red Rising, my Pierce Brown. This one's a little bit small for me. But it's actually a good size. This is a good size to hold and read. Can't complain with it. But compared to the Harlan Coben, look how much it's a little bit wider. It's a little bit taller. There's too many different sizes. There needs to be a standardization thing. Look at this. Here's my wool set. Wool, Dust, and Shift. They're all different sizes. One's short, one's tall, one's medium, and this one's the later one. Wool's the first one. Wool's the one that's medium. Why have you put that on a shelf? That looks stupid. It is not cool to display like this, right? My favorite is this size, the big paperbacks. Hardback's also good to put on a shelf, but this Reaper's Gale I got, this Malice, it's a big copy, big paperback. This is what I like. This is what all my Expanse books are. So if I want to put books on a shelf that are all this size that would look cool, that's how I would want it to this size. So I ordered a shitload of books and they all came in different than I was expecting. First of all, I got the Hitchhiker's Guide Douglas Adams box set. So it's a used set, so it was $14 for all of them. It's a little bit, boxes ripped, but the books are read once quality or whatever. I thought I was ordering the ones with the green face on the cover, the ones that you see all the time. This is a good cover though. It kind of looks like a movie poster. Is there a movie on Hitchhiker's Guide? It surely is, right? And you got Restaurant at the End of the Universe, Life, the Universe, and Everything. So Long, Thanks for All the Fish. And then you got Mostly Harmless. So these are all, they're a lot thinner than I thought they were going to be too. This is only 200 something pages, these shorter ones. And then you got another one called The Salmon of Something. I think it's an extra book that kind of is along this same series. I haven't read any Douglas Adams before. I'm really excited about it. Everybody says it's every sentence is a joke. Supposed to be real funny. We'll see about that. Now, I ordered The Rage of Dragons. Evan Winter. Everybody talks about this book. I didn't realize Evan Winters is a black guy. And the characters and the story is kind of based on African kind of mythology or something. But it's about people who, the females, every 100,000 of them can call down dragons with the power of dragon calling or something like that. And every 1 in every 100 men is like super strong, kind of like Superman. So I don't know, there's some kind of war going on. Everybody says this is amazing, and the second book, Fires of Vengeance, I'll be ordering that if this is as good as everybody says it is, which I assume it is. I think this is a different cover than most people get. Usually it's more white, and the brown is white, and the white is brown or something, so it's more like a white cover, but this looked pretty good to me. This is an Orbit book, and this is the perfect size. It's the big paperback. If you look at video reviews, your people hold up a book, and the book looks at the same size as your head, pretty much, most of the time, but you can't tell. Like, if I hold up Red Rising, it also looks the same size as my head, but it's not nearly as big as this book. So you can't really tell like what size books are if you want them for like display purposes. Okay, Rage of Dragons, dope. Also had to get Malice. Malice, Valor, Ruin, Wrath, this whole series by John Gwynne. Faithful and the Fallen, book 1. So I'm going to read this. A lot of people say if you read John Gwynne, Malice, you'll just buy every book that he writes after that. It's like an auto buy. He's so good. Super hyped. He's got the, what was the other one with the dragon and the wolf on the cover? It's not Shadow of the Beast or Shadow of War, Hunger of the Gods, Shadow of War and Hunger of the Gods. That's what it is. And there's a third book coming out in that series. So there's another series after this that has weapons on the cover. So I think there's like a battle axe, or there's like a scythe one or something like that. I don't know. It's dope. I'm super hyped. I don't know what it's about. I have no clue. This is like, I'm going to get into fantasy next year. I'm going to hit hard. I'm going to become a fantasy reader instead of a sci-fi horror guy. It's mostly what I've been reading. It's like George R. R. Martin is mostly all the fantasy I've read, besides like Dragonlance a long time ago. And mostly I just read like Stephen King and sci-fi and horror stuff. Also this Mazatlan, I didn't even realize this was an epic series when I bought it. I just got this at Goodwill or something. This is like book 7 of the series. People say you read the first book and it's like so ambitious that it doesn't seem like it's possible, but then you realize the series is already done. So like, oh, he must be actually have done all the things he claims to have done in the first book. And it just blows your mind. It's like it goes over a lot of people's heads because there's like too much stuff. It throws you in a Way of Kings, a bunch of information, doesn't explain it. So a lot of people, they don't recommend this for like most people unless you're into giant epic fantasy stuff like Wheel of Time or Lord of the Rings. Well, Lord of the Rings isn't that long. Anyway, I got way more stuff to show you. I got Kings of the Wild. Kings of the Wild. Oh, look how small it is. This is like Red Rising size. I thought it was going to be like these books. I was like, oh, I'm going to get Kings of the Wild. And look at it. That's not the same size. The rest of my books, except for one, is that size. This size. I mean, it's a good size. It's a good size to read. I can hold it in one hand. It's comfortable. But putting it on a shelf, I can't put it on the same shelf as these big books because it's going to look silly. But this book, everybody says it is a fun romp with a fucking squad. Like if you're playing a video game, an RPG, you got your classes and your squad, and they go out and they do hilarious stuff, and there's characters, and it's just a wild ride. It's just fun. And there's another book after it called Bloody Rose. So if it's as good as everybody says, I'll be getting that. But this seems like it'd be really fun to read. Okay, and then I got The Lies of Lamora. Everybody says this is the shit. This is the best character, Lamora, in fiction or fantasy fiction or something like that. So it's about a thieves guild, kind of like in Skyrim. You get your thieves guild, and he's like teaching people how to pickpocket and do all kinds of thieveries and stuff. And there's 2 more books after it. Red Sun, Red Skies, and I don't know what the third one's called. But this one I was expecting it to be this size, but it's not. So I was disappointed. I was like, oh no, this isn't a mass market. It's not mass market. It's acid-free paper, I think. But it's smaller than I was expecting. So I was a little bit disappointed in that. But the book is going to be amazing, I can already tell you. So I'm super psyched for all these books. This one I just got for myself. It's been on my TBR for years. I saw it like a long time ago. I got it real cheap. It has foreword by Ernest Cline, author of Ready Player One. This is like a sci-fi. It's basically it's an anthology of video game stories. Andy Weir has a story. He's the guy who wrote The Martian and Hail Mary and all that stuff. Rihanna Pratchett, I don't know if she's kin to Terry Pratchett. Hugh Howey, he's the one that wrote the Wool stories that I showed you. Austin Grossman. What did he write? I'm getting him confused with that Daniel guy that wrote the robot story. I thought he was in here. He wrote that You book that I read. Edited by Daniel Wilson. Daniel Wilson is the one that wrote Robot Uprising. He was on Joe Rogan, I think, a while back. It was a pretty good book. So, I guess he didn't do his own story, but he just edited it. So this is probably going to be really good. If you like video games, press start to play. Got that as well. And this one I wasn't sure about. I didn't know if I was going to like it or not. I saw it in the bookstore. I glanced through it, and I saw that it was like super sci-fi. It looked like The Expanse kind of stuff. It's a female author, I think. I don't know what the first name is. Paolini. She's the one that wrote all the Aragon stories about that. It's like a young adult series on Dragon or something. This is To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. It looks dope. It's big, it's chunky, it's a hardcover, so really good to display. Nice, like, velvety feel to the cover on it, or whatever it's called, the dust jacket. Christopher Powell. Oh, it's a guy. My bad. I always get that confused. Like, I expect Paolini to be a woman because it looks like a woman on the cover, and the dragon looked kind of like girly in their other book. I don't know. I've never heard of any Paolini. I don't know. This is my first foray into this. I hope it's not too young adulty, but everybody's bookshelf. If you're watching like bookshelf reviews or tours, they all have this book, so it's got to be something. And that pretty much looks like about it. Except for, whoa, what's that back there? Oh shit, what? There's a stack of books back here. Boom, baby! Joe Abercrombie 6-book collection. The First Law, and the 3 books that are placed in the First Law universe in a whole set for $50. 6 books for $50 I got. These also I expected to be big, like this. So I guess that's, you probably have to pay $30 for if they were that size. I don't know, but maybe this is what size everybody has. I've been watching some videos back and like the people are holding the books up and it looks smaller now that I'm thinking about it. So you can also get the covers that are white. It looks more like a samurai, like some Tarantino's kind of stuff. But I wanted the ones with all these maps and weapons because it looks cooler to me. He's also got another series after this that I'm sure is going to be just as amazing. A Little Hatred is one of the titles. Can I break this or I need a knife? Let's look at these covers. So we got Before They Are Hanged. Oh, this has got a real nice feel to it too. Look at that. Look at the shininess. It kind of looks like an old journal you'd find. It's got that feel to it too, like a leather. It feels like leather. And then it's like an embossed cardboard or something that feels like leather. And you got the blade itself. That's the first book, right? Yeah, the blade itself is the first book. These are in the wrong order. Then you got Last Argument of Kings. Some bloodied, kind of metal looking kind of stuff. All these books though, very high quality, I gotta say. And then The Heroes. It's got a big axe on it. Cool little map on the back. Is there maps in the front of these? Oh yeah, every good fantasy book I have a map on the front. That's a dope map too. Then you got Red Country. A lot of people didn't like this one, but I think I saw somebody like Murphy or somebody was reading it and said it was actually good. It's got a big ass Bowie knife on the front. Another one on the back. I'm hoping there's like some piratey stuff in this. It's got gold coins on it. This one does too. With a piratey foil or epee kind of sword. Best served cold. I'm very excited about those. I think I'm going to start in November, maybe reading Joe Abercrombie's. Because I want to see what he's all about. As much as I really want to read Malice and Rage of Dragons and Lies of Lamora, everybody talks about Joe Abercrombie like he's just like the best writer of this decade or something. So I feel like it's going to be kind of like watching somebody play Skyrim. I was reading those books. I don't know. It sounds like it's going to be dope. Alright, so that's what I got. That's everything. No more trickeries. I'll see you in the next one.